Jamie, from your experience, what is it about service that most Christians just have a hard time getting involved in?
Oh, I don't know. It seems to me that service is not necessarily the most exciting, scintillating, and engaging topic when it comes to churches. In fact, quite frankly, when I knew I had to do 3 weeks on service, it was kind of a stretch for me in the sense that, I know that the feedback is not usually immediate. People don't sit there and go, rah, rah, let's charge the hill. And yet the reality is that service is obviously one of the primary ways, as we've seen today, that Jesus loved people around him. And it's one of the primary ways that God wants to use us to be his hands and feet on this earth. The ultimate goal is love. Obviously, what God is after more than anything are followers of Christ who trust him in an unwavering fashion and can love like Jesus loved. And yet service is a key component to love. If we're unwilling to serve, if we're unwilling to roll up our sleeves, if we're unwilling to take the service towel that Jesus showed us in John 13, if we're unwilling to do that, then we're really not loving people around us. And so I think sometimes it's ignorance that keeps people from serving, but we're not going to have that excuse anymore because we're taking a 3-week look at this. I think sometimes it's fear that people are afraid to get too involved in other people's lives, what Mike Yaconelli, before he died, called messy spirituality, but gosh, we got to be willing to get messy a bit and be involved in other people's lives. Sometimes I think it's even disobedience that keeps us from serving. We're just, quite frankly, selfish and we want to do our own thing. But at the end of the day, we all know, if we have at all a tender heart to God, that none of those excuses wash. Every one of those things can be blown away by a deep desire to follow Christ, to discover the gifts and passions that God has given us, and to serve. And that's what we're about the next 3 weeks here at our church.
Thank you, Jamie.